G'day fishers, Brent from Tackle Port Stephens with our weekly fishing report. Get out there and amongst it this weekend. Weather looks absolutely sensational. So Saturday, Sunday both look really, really good. Get out there and have a fish. That's all I can say. In the estuary at the moment, pelagic action, plenty of bonito in the bay. So on that incoming tide, bonito anywhere from about the Nelson Bay Breakaway all the way through to Corlette, even into Little Salamander. Lots of bonito around at the moment. Just look for the birds. And you'll see that white bait showering. So they're feeding on very, very small bait. The armory anchovies, those little metals, those 5 to 11 grams, are doing the job on the bonito at the moment. Just cast those in, retrieve at a bit of speed, and away you go. You'll get yourself some bonito. You only need a light rod, 2-4 kilo, and that's all you need to do. Other pelagic action, well, the longtails won't be far away. I heard a whisper there was a couple seen in the bay during the week, maybe a couple of mac tuna. And I actually nearly ran over one at Cabbage Tree there, running home from marlin fishing last Sunday. We'll just get rid of that fly. Plenty of flies around at the moment. I need to have a shower, but anyway, that's another story. So bay fishing well, lots of whiting around at the moment. So if you're keen on catching some big sand whiting up on the flats there, some good tides early morning, late afternoon at the moment. We've got live worms for this weekend. So if you're keen on doing that, plenty of bream around on the surface lures there. So if you're keen on throwing some surface lures right up in the racks or up in those shallow rock walls, good fun this time of year. Lead up to the full moon is always good on the surface for bream, and especially whiting as well on those shallow flats. A few flatties still sticking around lower half of the bay. Fishing better for your flatties at the moment, and I reckon they only get stronger. I reckon there's 2 breeding cycles of the flatties. It's usually that springtime, but also into that autumn time, that late March, April, where I find some bigger fish at this time of year. So flatties definitely worth a shot. A few mud crabs around, so if you're keen on putting the traps in, a few muddies around. Spoke to Neil, you got some beauties during the week. So estuary fishing pretty well at the moment. On the beaches, plenty of whiting around. If I was going off the beach, I'd be targeting whiting. Boxy, fingal, Samurai, 1 mile, Barubi, all holding some really, really nice whiting, and it'll definitely be worth, as we get into that latter half of the weekend, fishing for a mulloway after dark with those tides getting better on that incoming. So definitely worth a shot. Actually got some really big nice plastics in at the moment. Those cast plastics, the Prodigies, work really well on the mulloway off the beach at the moment. Beach is fishing well. Off the rocks, now's the time to gear up and get into those longtails. They won't be far away. The longies, like I said, I did see one coming past Cabbage Tree late Sunday afternoon, jumped out in front of the boat. So longies are definitely just about here. There's plenty of bait. I think the numbers will only get better. Traditionally, April, May, best 2 months, but definitely worth a shot. Off Tomaree if you want to chase a longtail at the moment. Some good kings around, especially around Boulder Bay area, north of Boulder Bay. If you're keen on live baiting or stick baiting, definitely a few kings around. And bonito, plenty of bonito that can be spun off the rocks at the moment. So definitely worth a shot. Pete caught a nice snapper off the rocks, floating a bait down the wash. So a few snapper around at the moment. So just smaller fish, those 2 to 3 kilo, but good fun off the rocks as well. Now on the offshore scene, plenty of trag around. The trag fishing's been absolutely sensational. So any of those typical reefs, I know the Big Gibber's been fishing well if you can get a spot, if no one's fishing for marlin there at the moment. But the back of the 21, the outer V seems to fish better than the inner V at the moment. Boulder Bay Wide, some nice reef down off Boulder Bay Wide. And also down off the tank mark, a little bit deeper there in that 70 metre mark off the tank there, fishes pretty well too for trag at the moment. So definitely worth a shot. Those deeper water mulloway are still there. Spoke to Ted, he's been getting some really nice mulloway in that deeper water, so definitely worth a shot for those mulloway. The old flathead drift's worth a shot too at the moment, that 40 to 50 metres east of Little Island. Definitely worth a go for a few flatties. Around the island, some really good kings around. A couple of lads stick baiting during the week up off Broughton, got some really nice fish up to 16 kilos on the stick bait, so worth either trolling some liveys or throwing some stick baits around at the moment. Wouldn't be surprised too that you'll find that there's a few cobia around. So a couple of cobes being caught off the reefs at the moment. I know the lads on Moving On got a nice cobia while they were marlin fishing during the week. So definitely worth a shot on the cobes. So it won't be too far away. And if you want to anchor up around any of the headlands, like I said before, a couple of longtails starting to get around. Righto, so plenty of questions. Are the marlins still there? Well, certainly are, that's for sure. They'll just come in waves. They'll push in with that, with the current and the wind there. Spoke to the boys on Calypso, Benny and Carl. They went 13 from 14 on Thursday. So black marlin and a striped marlin as well. So yep, they're still there. So they fished up at the Gibber. few fish at Seal Rocks at the moment as well. So definitely worth a shot on the blacks. I spoke to Scotty on the Freedom. They caught another 7, I think, on Tuesday. So definitely worth a shot on the black marlin at the moment. So it's only getting better. Bugger off that fly. Definitely worth a shot on the blacks. Just remember, you got to fish light. You got to fish that 60-pound fluoro. Don't go too big on your hooks. 8Os are fine, and just work the top of that bait there, and you'll definitely get a bite. So we get asked all the questions. How come this bloke's catching it? I'm not. All comes down to leader size and just fishing really light. They're not big fish, although there has been some bigger ones caught this week up around 100 kilos, but you'll still be able to catch them. No dramas at all. So definitely worth a shot for the blacks. Lots of little dolphin fish around, that'll annoy you as well. So, and some nice blues out on the shelf. Saw some great footage of some blue marlin out on the shelf there. Dave showed me an absolute beast that unfortunately lost on the leader, but an absolute horse. So if you want to head to the shelf, there are some nice blues starting to kick out on the shelf there. Anyway, that's it for this week. Enjoy your weekend.